kept him awake at night. Now, 4 years ago, I bet I was a lot like you. I started paying attention to the border crisis, and I thought to myself, why is this happening? I mean, it doesn't even make sense. I thought we thought about security. Well, since I couldn't apply logic and understand what was happening in the border, I started looking for alternative theories, and it took me down lanes I didn't want to go, quite honestly. I mean, who's watching the border? Who would benefit from things saying screwed up? I hate to break it to you, but after 2 years of denying it and saying this can't be, it's the only reason that I have found that explains everything that's going on in our country with the border. Our country has been sold out in the name of global profits and votes at the ballot box. This is where the Security and Prosperity Partnership of North America, or SPP, comes in. This little agreement, international agreement, cooked up by President Bush, the former president of Mexico, and the Prime Minister of Canada. Their mission is to blur or completely erase the borders between Canada, U.S., and Mexico to get goods and services freely flowing between all three countries in the dream of one big happy Mex-Americanada. And that would finally become a reality. Sound great? Not so much. Jerome Corsi is the author of the New York Times bestseller, The Late Great U.S.A, The Coming Merger. Jerome, I want to start with a piece that happened on Larry King Live, where everybody, like you, like me, who have been saying, wait a minute, I don't want to believe this, but it looks like it's happening. We've all been called crazy. This is what Vicente Fox said on Larry King Live. Roll the tape.
What we proposed together, President Bush and myself, it's ALCA, which is a trade union for all of the Americas. And everything was running fluently until Hugo Chavez came. And he decided to isolate himself. He decided to combat the idea and destroy the idea. And very unfortunately,
is it going to be like the euro dollar, you mean?
Well, that would be long term. I think the process is to go first step into a trading agreement, and then further on, a new vision like we're trying to do with NAFTA.
He says in this interview, Jerome, he's asked, so it would be like the euro dollar? Well, long term. I was with one of the country's leading economists having dinner the other night, and I said, what point do you start, and this guy's an optimist, at what point do you start worrying about the dollar? And he said, Glenn, about 6 months ago, he said it's almost like we're intentionally destroying the dollar.
I agree, Glenn. I mean, I was ready to send Vicente Fox a signed copy of the book and thank him because he validated every major thesis in the Late Great U.S.A. We're headed exactly down the path Europe went down, starting with trade agreements, beginning with a coal and steel agreement in Europe 50 years ago, then advancing towards a European common market, the Treaty of Maastricht, the European Union, in 2002, the euro. We're now going from NAFTA to the Security and Prosperity Partnership in North America. Our elite are talking about a North American community, and they've even named our new currency the Amero.
All right, Jerome, you know what so frustrates me is I believe in our Constitution. I think our Constitution was God-inspired. You want another state? Sew another flag on and have people vote for it. This stuff is happening in the cover of night. You've got the NAFTA superhighway that again everybody denies, but you've got it broken up in chunks being built right now. It will deliver goods from China right to Mexico through America into Canada. You say this stuff is going to eliminate the middle class. How?
Well, because even the economists supporting the so-called globalism, and it's not free trade. It's not free trade when China has all the advantages in unfair trade agreements. Just take a look at Alan Blinder. He's at Princeton University. He supported NAFTA, got Bill Clinton to sign NAFTA. Blinder now in the Wall Street Journal in March says we're going to lose 40 million jobs in the next 2 decades to China and India with these unfair trade agreements.
All right, Jerome, I know we're out of time. Can I ask you to write a special thing maybe for tomorrow's newsletter just on what the case that's being heard in front of the Supreme Court today? It changes everything. Could I ask you to write a few paragraphs on that?
I'd be honored to, Glenn.
Okay.
I'd be very definitely honored to.
You can get that at glennbeck.com if you sign up tonight, and Jerome will write something. You've got to pay attention to this.